Here we are at the shop at Walden Pond, which is reopening here in June 2020, where you can get great hats like this available here at the shop. But we hope you'll come in here. And we're at the new visitor center at Walden Pond, and this is the shop run by the Thoreau Society. So let's see what's happening here. Welcome, come on inside. And we are very pleased today to have Corrine Smith, a champion author and Thoreau Society employee, and we're getting ready to open again the fabulous shop at Walden Pond. And thank you for coming here, Magda. So we're just doing a little film around the pond, trying to find something interesting for the society. But I just wanted to say hello, and we will see you Monday morning. Thank you for everything you're doing.
Thank you.
If anything. Well, here we are at the famous little statue of Henry, and then we have the replica house, and it's sort of like Sedona, Arizona. This is a very, very special place in the minds of many people who care about the world. And what is the number one question by families from the Midwest when they go through and see the inside of the house? What do the children ask their parents? Mommy, Daddy, how come there's no bathroom? But it's nice to be the first nest ever.
Right here.
It's pretty hard to see from the water.
That's a big one. Whoa!
Oh, pretty big scenery around here.
Right here.
It's pretty hard to see from the water. That lady with the dead fish here. Yeah, that's probably... Did you just found that floating on the surface? Okay, you may as well throw it on the shore and let the bald eagles eat it. So we have bald eagles breeding very nearby. Okay, what we have right here is one of our invasive aliens, one of our 20 worst ones in New England, a plant that Henry never knew. This is called multiflora rose, but this is multiflora rose, Rosa multiflora. But this is quaking aspen, and it quakes because the leaves are designed to twirl in the slightest breeze, as in Aspen, Colorado. And out there, they lack the sugar maples and many of the beautiful oaks that we have in our fall foliage in New England. So out in places like Aspen, Colorado, or the Grand Tetons, the only color other than green in the fall is the yellow leaves of the quaking aspen. Okay, we now have some Canada geese babies coming up. They're changing from the yellow plumage. We can get much closer.
Yeah, less.
Not much geese left.
Oh yeah, all those are big.
And we have an adult Canada goose coming up.
What?
I think it's some sort of a cinquefoil. 5-petaled. Don't know if that's native or not. But it's just nice to see some flowers. This is Oriental Bittersweet. It has come over from China, Japan area. And it has orange fruits in the fall and yellow leaves. Real dastardly thing, Oriental Bittersweet. And it is growing amongst our native grapes here, which is nice. And this is called speckled alder, A-L-D-E-R, which has fruits that look like little pine cones. And that is native. And because of the coronavirus, and to avoid people walking in front of each other, the trail is now one way counterclockwise along the pond. And you will see the fencing here. For anyone who hasn't been to Walden Pond in a lot of years, we're trying to keep this level. And so we've got some fence here. It may look a little bit ugly, but otherwise this whole path would just be dirt all the way down to the shoreline. rest here, get away from people. There's a couple people behind us. This is like 100 feet plus deep, so it's really technically a true lake.
Why did they start calling it pond?
I think it's just colloquialism. They just got lazy. But it was Lake Walden to me, and geologically it's definitely a lake. Sassafras,
Oh yeah.
and it has
sassafras.
leaves that are entire with no thumb, and then usually you'll find some that have one thumb, and then others have, like here's a one thumb leaf, and then others have like 3 thumbs. And this is sassafras. And the Pilgrims, when they were trying to pay off the money they borrowed for their stay in Plymouth in the 1620s, paid it off with lumber, beaver pelts that they traded with the Indians for, and sassafras oil to help pay off the investors for the Mayflower people there in Plymouth. And this tree was important then. But that is young sassafras, and that grows up to maybe 10 feet tall here in New England, but it grows up to 120 feet tall down in North Carolina. And this is one of our native shrubs. It's not in flower right now, unfortunately, but this is sweet pepper bush. I don't know if it's worth a shot or not, but sweet pepper bush is one of the common bushes around the edge of Walden. This is more sweet pepper bush. Railroad. Oh, this is a nice view with nobody here. But these are Inukchuks inspired by the Inuit Indians of the high Arctic tundra. That is called a pine warbler, a trill. We also have 3 of these huge, 3-foot long, bright orange koi fish from China, which some idiot put out here, which we wish the bald eagles would eat. They're hemlocks, and they just have short needles along a horizontal plane, the hemlock. And this is typical of the north woods, colder climate than hot. And so even though we're on the south side of Walden, but because of the slope here and most of the sun is on the back side, the hemlocks and the north wood stuff occur on the south side of Walden. And then when you get on the north side where the slopes face south and it gets more direct sun, you have sort of Carolinian or Virginian things. That's deer tongue grass. It's a native grass. Oh, and here's a better chestnut that's growing up there. It hasn't fruited yet, but it's nice, you know, nice light where some of it goes through the leaves and some of it is shadowed. But that's a more mature chestnut. But this is in the ginseng family, but it's not ginseng. It's called wild sarsaparilla. And see the separate flower head here? Which this is the flowers. And then it goes up into 3 points. So it sort of looks like poison ivy, but it generally has 5 leaves per stripe. But this is wild sarsaparilla, and it's been used as a root beer flavoring. It hasn't got the medicinal punch that the true American ginseng does, which grows down in the Carolinas, basically, and Great Smokies. And this particular plant right here is called sheep laurel, right here. And it is in the heath, which is the blueberry family, and related to rhododendrons, and this other more special one called rhodora that we do have here. That's nice, that lady in pink there.